Good morning, everybody. Appreciate you guys being here. I thought today was a really good work day. I thought the guys really the past two, continuing to challenge his mindset, throughout each period of practice. Trying to throw a lot of different situations. Yesterday, red zone. Today, third downs. Trying to help build awareness. Understanding some of the concepts that we're installing on both sides of the ball, really wanting guys just to go out there and to build upon the information they know, but really take ownership of those situations. And we talk a lot about objectives, things that we have to accomplish in each game. We can drop a lot of neat plays and coverages and blitzes and all those things, but it still comes down to the fundamentals, the execution, the passion and desire to go get the job done. And I think that today was very competitive. I thought the offense, for most of practice was probably one of their best practices that we've had, since probably the beginning of spring. And I really was pleased with a lot of the work that they were able to do. Had some mistakes that showed up, some focus things that showed up there late, and just a continued challenge to make sure that every set, every play, our best is there. And I thought that it wasn't anything effort-wise, but just the details. Like I said, just ownership of the downs and what we're asking guys to do. But it's been very competitive. I thought defensively, we're seeing the physicality that's starting to really show up. And within the trenches, on both sides of the ball. I've liked some of the things we've been able to do on the offensive line. See those guys, really gelling together. And then some playmakers are definitely emerging. Throughout. We had two missed opportunities today defensively to take the ball away, which we got to be cleaner there and make sure we're finishing plays when we get the opportunity to. But I like where we are after 5 days. Tomorrow we will go and get our first scrimmage. It's early in camp, but it's one of those things that with the work that you get in the summer, just of understanding plays, concepts, schemes. I want to see where these guys are. You're going out there and playing football, and it's going to be probably be very base in what we try to ask them to do. I just want to see guys play fast, play with technique, fundamentals. I want to see dominant contact show up, and playmakers emerge. And so I think tomorrow night will be a great opportunity for us to see exactly where we are. Here through 6 days, and then we'll be able to take some giant steps in Jacksonville to continue on the journey where we all desire us to be. But this team's ready to go and strap it up a little bit tomorrow night.
First question will be Chris. On the scrimmage, a couple questions. One, will you get in the doga anything before the season actually starts?
Tomorrow night.
You will be tomorrow night. And secondly, special teams, will the scrimmage allow some of that to be live? Will that be more so the second scrimmage?
Are you talking about the special teams work?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll probably go more of the second scrimmage where we'll see the live work. Now, I mean, there's going to be elements of it with certain units that I want to see full speed, and but to go the full live part of it, and we'll probably have that for all 4 units come the second scrimmage.
Brendan, with the offense, you mentioned it standing out today. What did you like about what the group did?
I thought that you felt speed. You felt I saw some great run seams that were created in some of our run periods. I thought that the backs were good in their tempo pace. I think that the group's really taken some positive steps. They got a lot of competition in that group. But I feel like they're definitely making some positive strides. I think the receivers on the perimeter, we've had guys that have been making plays. I think our tight end room has been good. Landon's been a little bit he's been limited here at the beginning of it. So, seeing Randy, Amari, Mark Keaston's made some great plays. It was good. Chase was kind of limited for a few days, but getting him back out there, he made some plays today. So it's good seeing that group emerge. I like what I'm seeing from the receivers. And the way that they played, I thought Tommy had a really good day. Some of the best sets that he's had, just throughout, where you feel his ownership, you feel, the impact, the spark that he can bring, and so it's been good, and like I said, I like the way guys are embracing challenge, and we're trying to challenge them in all areas.
Next will be Ira over on your right.
You didn't get to see the fall offensive line a lot in the spring, but I'm guessing you are now. Like, what are your impressions of the first?
I'm really excited for what the group can continue to develop and be. And I think we got size. We got guys that can definitely create movement, create space. Now it's the finer details of, they've done a great job in knowing what to do, because they've obviously been here even when they weren't able to participate. They're understanding, and they've played a lot of football. I mean, that's you look at that. Really our top 7, 8 guys. I mean, they all have experience under their belt, but seeing the way that they're starting to work together, just the efficiency of communication, of trusting each other, whether it's pass rush, twist games, different things that you're going to face. You see a group that's starting to take some positive steps, but I think they're talented, and ultimately we got to go do it. So I see a hungry group that's really pushing to establish themselves.
We'll go second row, middle to Liam.
You mentioned on Friday that you were frustrated with some of the average portions of practice and wanted more physicality and intensity. 2 practices since then. How have you seen the guys respond to what you challenged them to be?
Yeah, I thought, like I said at the beginning, I thought that the last 2 days have been better. It's very competitive. Guys that you see the swings and production on each side of the ball, but even. You go through the course of the game, you might lose a play. That's going to happen. But ultimately, what do you do with it? And if you lose a play, given everything that you have, then you definitely get to learn and go, take a step to get better. And that's where what I'm looking for is, there's going to be some things, some transitional experiences, and just some things for guys, whether they're newcomers that are coming in, obviously, new things that we're asking guys to do. There's going to be part of that, but the effort, the mindset, the physicality, we're in full control of that, and that's what I want to show up, and I think we've done a good job these last couple practices.
We'll come back over to the right for Matt.
Thompson yesterday said it feels like you're coaching the coaches more as well in your new role. Was that kind of a goal of yours, or something that you try to do?
Well, obviously we have a high standard here, and we all have to uphold that. And we ask a lot out of our players, we ask a lot out of our coaches. I ask a lot out of myself, and if I'm not willing to be able to address all things that I get to see and impact and make sure that we're upholding that, then obviously. I'm not doing my job, and so I've got to do a great job for the coaches to make sure that I'm there to help support them in the things that we ask them to do, and but I've got a great group of guys, and just trying to make sure that across the board that we're all pushing together and accomplishing the things we're trying to set out for on a daily basis. But I think our coaches have done a really nice job, legally. A really nice job, throughout fall camp.
We'll go back to football in front.
It's been a few. You've had a few days since guys getting pads. How have some of the younger players done in kind of acclimating to that, the physical aspect of the game?
Well, I think our guys have done a good job. There's some that it's adjusting to speed. Coming from high school, no matter where you go, what you do, it's still the speed of the game, communication. The physicality part of it, is what always. Do they going out there and they jumping all in? And I think we've seen some guys that have really transitioned well. Some guys that were here in the spring that kind of got a little bit of a boost, but then guys that have joined even this in fall camp that definitely belong, and I think have a chance to be able to impact us for this year, and you will continue in the next couple of weeks to see just what that's going to be like for game 1. But you excited about the way they've transitioned.
We'll go to Corey back right.
I know it's only been a week and only 3 days of practice, but who's been your best wide receiver?
I think guys have showed up. I've really been pleased with what Deuce has shown. Squirrel has been really excited. I think Boggs is coming along and really showing some good traits. I know I mentioned Elijah the other day, but it's there's so many. Luane had a couple big catches yesterday. You guys were rolling, but I mean, it's an exciting group. And it's just the consistency that I want from that. But yeah, I think those guys that have experience and have been out there, I think they're showing up, and they look like what you want. And so still it's the daily challenge. They haven't come out, and there's been some dominant moments, but I want that consistency in all things with and without the ball. And so that's still a challenge for all of them.
You mentioned defense having a couple opportunities not capitalizing on. Were they plays though where guys made the play, just didn't finish?
Yeah, it was. I mean, they're putting themselves in the right position, and you see the athleticism, you see the reaction, you see the anticipation on a couple things that, it's great teaching for the offense, in those moments. But it's also, man, if you're going to get there, let's go finish it, And so, just some of those, it's always good and bad on both sides, but especially when you're going good on good. But I like the position our guys are putting themselves in. But man, we got to finish those plays. Let the game-changing plays be the ones that that we can hang our hat on, regardless of what happened before. Right? Man, we got to finish in those moments.
How has Tim Harris impacted that wide receiver group, especially with returning guys and Morris and McCoy, guys like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think Tim's a great coach. Obviously he's done a wonderful job, in his teaching, continuing to emphasize, the standard expectation that's in that room. And I think guys have responded really well. And so, he's hard on them. He challenged them, but I think you see, confidence growing through his expectation of that group and, the work that they're putting in. And, he's doing a really nice job with them.
All right, last one, we'll go back to Ira.
Are you enjoying the not having to be the one to run the offense? I mean, because you're getting to kind of, you're always the head coach, but are you enjoying
No, I do. I mean, I've never, I don't get off calling plays. Like, it's not my thing. I don't have to feel like that's something that I love the game of football. Like, it's just, I enjoy it. I'll enjoy watching guys fundamental, push, physicality, standard, all of it. I got two unbelievable coordinators, offense and defense. I got an incredible coordinator in special teams. Like, when you have guys that have the experience, you have the mindset. Now it's how every bit of it's got to fit together, for us to be the best that we can be. And so, like, calling plays, running offense, like, that's how I came up. But I mean, I love the the big picture approach of all things of being the head coach, making sure that if we say this is something that's important, it's got to show up. And it's coaches, players, everybody involved. We had I'm just not gonna say a kid's name, but like today there was a moment, man. He had made a mistake. Was emotional in the moment, right? But being able to go and address the issue, be at the need, everything else in the world's still going, but to be able to address that, and then the very next set, kid comes out, makes two great plays, and like you saw that much improvement, that much confidence, and I got to help join in the process of that. Where if it's what's the next, there's just sometimes that you can get caught up in the details of other tasks. But man, I love that. And like I said, you got great coaches around, and obviously my focus is where it needs to be, and we're taking those steps.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Have a good day.